Hi, Annika. Good afternoon. My name's Shannon. I'll be the person that you'll be um, battling this out in court with. So, just to give you full knowledge, full awareness of what you're doing, you're on social media using. Let me see. A reference. It was running up that hill. No, it's gone now. Gone. Whilst claiming that that this is the best thing, and you're using references like Dolly magazines. Now, the problem is that you're in a very high position of authority at the time that you're trying to do this. You achieve that authority through the traditional chain of whatever experience, through the paradigm of the pre-existing exposure to the pre-existing arrangement of media distribution and of communication abilities. You're using the reference to the fact that we had to have phone credit to limit these things. Look, I'm not sure how old you are, but the largest effect I've found, I'll take the temperature down. You know what I mean? Because I know that you all are hideously dissociated from the actual crimes you're committing. Let me see how I can walk through this. You've achieved an authority position using the previous iterations of media. The reason this is being allowed to elevate to such a high level is because the argument in question has nothing to do with the fact of whether social media is banned or all these things. It's like the attention of the Australian people is now equally divided between a tyrannical government and previously non-existent social media, digital, mostly coming from overseas and initiating from overseas. So you are now kind of in a battle between yourself, the Australian Labor Party, and an invading force, but you are not realizing that you are already the largest, you are committing the largest theft of attention, and not even holding to the bare minimum standards of the institutions that you claim to govern over. If there was an Australian school and you found a child in a closet speaking to himself, writing on the walls, where would we be? But this is happening every day, and not just in your facilities, in the form of prisons and psychiatric things or re-educate, whatever planned hospital / health, any of these things, these control imprisonment systems that you're using to keep control of your population. And you are then claiming that this network is harmful to children. So it's like there's been basically the children are put in a cage. Let me draw the picture. The children are put in a cage that is mandated by you, distributed by you, reinforced by you, socially engineered by you. They are literally born into this system, which is the public health in the majority of cases. They are inflicted with these ritualistic abuse of so-called vaccinations and health interventions and scans and all these things, claiming that you are the authority to speak on this. you've identified it. What it seems like you've identified is that the children are passing notes in class, and you were their teacher, and you are now telling them that they can't pass notes in class even when they're outside of class. Is that what's going on? Because you've already locked these children behind masks, which is again pseudoscience, fucking religious self-identification. You've terrorized them in the form of constant terrorist psychological torment throughout all media systems, which you are the largest financial contributor to. You are now basically not just claiming that children can't use it, that it is the consensus maximus of the Australian people that people should not talk to each other while at home, in their own houses, in their own time, that these people, these Labor people, should not be speaking to anyone on social media, nor listening to anyone. And it really has to be who has ever contributed on social media, but you're then on social media. So all we'd really need to prove is that are you in the position that you're in, having fully attempted to pioneer and to regulate voluntarily the environment that you're now seeking to criticize? Well, I think I'd find it very hard to believe that you would be in this position if you were also doing that, because that's a hefty undertaking. I know that you sit in the Australia that's air conditioned and the Australia that has, I don't know, do you have trams where you are, or like Uber, Pizza Hut delivery, all these things? The Australia that my family landed in was not like that. So I guess the assumption that our government would micromanage and, intervene into our freedoms at such a level like this, using the most sophisticated tool whilst not seeing to civilize it at all. Are you not just the town lunatic at this stage? Are you really, out the front of our country now, attempting with the slightest of authority or like expertise in any of the really, really vital professions or, experience within the actual reference to the thing in question? I would just find that utterly amazing to find that you were doing that. And what are your attempts that you're making to project within the environment that you're criticizing here, and of course the environment you are attempting to steal attention from? Did you all get used to the ridiculous levels of attention that the Australian people gave you during the pandemic? And is this an attempt to reclaim those once lofty levels of attention by, identifying a large, a largely identified environment that people are spending their time, and then turning it off? Did you just go into a children's swimming pool, which children piss in the swimming pool? I used to do it all the time. Everyone I did. We used to do backflips. We used to splash people. We used to be noisy and swear and do all these things. They never banned the whole fucking swimming pool because a bunch of kids were doing that. The kids got in trouble. Do you know what I mean? And then there's levels. Like if the children, say, created a fucking disappearing message app, if adults did that and they projected it in, and that was like a way, isn't that like child soldiers? If you've armed children from a foreign country with handheld, hypnotism devices and a disappearing app service, and then kind of initiated a self-determined youth rebellion, which is all that Snapchat could be. So it's like, think about what organically happened in the 70s and the 60s with the kind of hippies, right? Snapchat tried to engineer that using iPhones, which are a very sophisticated weapon of war, should be now reclassified instantly as a weapon of war, an introduced weapon of war, a highly distributed, highly dangerous, absolutely fucking devastating tool. And then a disappearing app service that was supposed to invoke this. If my daughter doesn't know who Abby Chatfield is, and I'm stratified in the environment of whatever this woman's name is, your name, sorry, I refuse to do this, then my daughter has clearly been exposed to a conditioned, hyper-selected, controlled information flow coming directly through an Apple iPhone, through, the majority, I'm guessing, Snapchat, because they're not on Instagram really, or Facebook, so they're on Snapchat. So what were they doing? And then you're trying to just blanket statement this as a social media fucking ban uniformly across the top there and has nothing to do with the actual handheld mechanical device. See, you're considering that these platforms, it's actually a blessing that they have platforms, because we can hyper isolate. Like if you hyper isolate Tinder and Snapchat, they are amongst the fucking absolutely catastrophic applications that are called applications, and they exist on the Apple Store. We still call them applications. They've kind of hijacked that word, app. But I assure you today, on this day, I'm not using an app. I'm using a browser, and I'm using the platforms that I've been using for their entire existence. I'm definitely not using a disappearing app, and I'm definitely not using a handheld, introduced, highly distributed potential espionage network. An espionage network. Oh yeah, well that's what China does. They have a controlled network. So how much does the Apple network with the Snapchat bonus level actually cost the Australian people? Because it's an organized fucking espionage network, which means that any individual in this state now, especially because I'm absolutely saying it, the fact that a fucking e-scootering fucking nitwit just rode past my fucking house makes me absolutely certain that you fuckers ought to fucking really listen up, because we've got you completely fucking encircled. Every single teenager with an Apple iPhone and a fucking Snapchat app on their phone right now is to immediately self-identify to the local West Australian police and submit their phone for testing. This is not an invasion of privacy. This is a highly distributed espionage systemic weapon device that has been literally distributed by these fucking people's parents and then unsupervised. These are people that are coming from the lowest fucking filthiest fucking back alleys of our fucking socioeconomic system. These are people that will not fucking hesitate to set fire to someone's house for $20 or fucking drive their fucking car through a fucking windscreen. These people are absolutely fucking the most dangerous factor in this entire fucking country right now. This argument has nothing to do with social media. Social media is the only reason that we're able to actually maintain this fucking order right now, because they're doing their due diligence, these little fuckwits, and some of them aren't fucking retarded. So they're running their own little fucking espionage, fucking defense, volunteer fucking defense force in our country right now. These are fucking children, some of them as young as fucking 10 years old. This is the fucking system that you are consenting to right now. This needs to be brought to absolute fucking order immediately. And we can't do it while there is a fucking 1.5 million fucking iPhones running around, automatically fucking self-regulating, self-governing, and our own government can't actually fucking point out and say this is the fucking problem. What type of government is that? And what is it actually doing? Why are you taking Australia's eyes off its fucking defense in the most critical moment it could possibly ever have? Because you're criminals. So you were at the hierarchy of this fucking invasion, and you should immediately report to your nearest military base in order to voluntarily surrender so that we can begin to carefully, just like fucking disengaging a bomb, right? So there is a bomb in every fucking school, every cinema, every fucking supermarket, every fucking little shithole fucking deli and lunch bar spread out across this entire fucking country. Have I made myself clear? This thing is being taken down right now, and we are carefully going to educate the Australian people how Australia works, which means you better start learning how to talk and self-organize yourself so that, like a big cheerleader's fucking whatever, that you're all fucking organized so that at the top you lift whoever's the person that you need to be there up there from each little fucking region that you're in. Okay? This isn't a fucking bone up fucking, oh, could you deliver 10,000 pamphlets, and then the person leaves the fucking 10,000 pamphlets in the bin, they take the money, they go and buy some fucking whatever, some Schweppes colas. Remember Schweppes colas? If you don't, then you should fucking definitely remove yourself from the fucking conversation. This is a very important time for Australia. It will not be ruined by a bunch of fucking scooter riding little cunts with fucking iPhones that their fucking degenerate fucking parents fucking gave them to babysit them so they could shoot up fucking heroin, smoke on a fucking crack pipe, or down fucking spirits and fucking alcohol like it's fucking Black Friday every night. It's Black Friday every night. Blackout Friday. Fucking Aussies. Woo, we love them. Think about how patient we are with you big lot of degenerate absolute fucking scum. Imagine that. Imagine how easy for the entire history of this fucking prison colony that we could have just fucking exterminated you like some type of Nazi fucking hideous fucking goose-stepping fucking cocksucking fucking reckless abandoned Nazis did 80 years ago. Well, we don't do that. We never fucking do it, ever, even though we can. We fucking, we're really patient with you all because we're Christians. The people that aren't patient are the Muslims and the fucking extreme Islamics. Right? So if you're one of them that's just fucking set up camp in a fucking Uniting Church in Lindisfarne and Hobart, you should fucking politely leave that fucking suburb and start swimming away from fucking Tasmania as quickly as you fucking can. We have fucking rid this island of its natural inhabitants. We certainly won't blink or fucking bat an eyelid about fucking dumping a bunch of Muslim cunts in the shark-infested waters and chumming it up and filming it with fucking drones and selling it for the top dollar to the fucking Discovery Channel. So you should hurry the fuck up and get off my fucking island, cunts. To everyone who ends up on the big island, right, which is a little bit more fucking Wild West, you should all fucking pull your absolute fucking heads in before you are gunned down in the fucking streets. There is no fucking way that a fucking Lady Gaga, iPhone fucking bullshit fucking tech, Snapchat fucking Steve Jobs fucking walk-in blow-in cunt is going to fucking have two fucking snow fucking balls chance in fucking hell of rubbing nothing together to spark fucking absolutely no fucking flame or spark in the most fire-prone country in the fucking earth on this day. So you should, if you're really bad, as I said yesterday, blow your fucking brains out, gas yourself, hang yourself, or run off a fucking cliff. I don't give a shit. If you're in the next fucking tier and you've given your fucking children this fucking device and left them to whatever, then you should fucking directly demand your children fucking hand over their phones. This is the biggest fucking robbery, but it's not a robbery because we're in a prison and you're in a prison and we're fucking raiding your cells right now. So get all your fucking cell phones out and give them to the authorities as they drive door by fucking door and fucking assess the damage that you maggot fucking cunts have caused to this country. Have I made myself clear? Every word that I've spoken over the last 4 years is public domain for everyone to fucking see. I encourage you, if you have a fucking problem with it, you download the transcripts, you fucking, utilize it all, you read through every fucking word in its appropriate time and its appropriate place. And if you have a challenge for whatever I've said in any fucking piece of it, then you formally respond in writing. If this is the paradigm that you are wanting to return to, you formally respond in writing. I think it'd be easier to do this. As long as you have a time and a date stamp of anything I've done, I will give you a fucking clear and fucking public fucking verbal fucking testimony as to what exactly it was that I was speaking about in relation to what it was and when it was in my unbroken chain of fucking defense of this country. That's called a log. That is a requirement of a war at this level in order to not be called a war criminal. So anyone that doesn't have a clear fucking log of their activities over the last 5 years who wishes to challenge me, you should not. You should not do that. You should retract all fucking public attempts to shift policy or do anything, and you should direct all fucking authority to the figures that can make what I've just said here as peaceful as possible. And that is none of you. Your coup is over. It is the most embarrassing, ridiculous fucking coup in the history of the fucking world. You should all be fucking astronomically ashamed of yourselves, but it's almost charming because it's just a result of a very, very, very poor education system that you are now attempting to fucking, ultra govern. That's literally the blind leading the blind. It's the fucking worst thing ever. We're not having walking, talking, fucking, James Bond fucking wannabes walking around with fucking iPhones and balaclavas and machetes and shit. It's like, no, it's time to fucking, you know what I mean? It's time to get back to a computer, do something fucking appropriate, fucking explain where you are, which means that like basically every single thing that's going on is going to stop and it's going to be redirected. And that sounds crazy, but it's like, have you moved house? That's what it's like. If we all move house at the same time, it's really fucking easy. And you move to a fucking shithole anyway. You move to the worst place on fucking earth. You move to the place where they were basically about to fucking imprison all your fucking children. And they were basically raping them and fucking doing all this shit and exposing them to fucking porn. Like, who the fuck are you? Where have you been? What the fuck? Like, what is this? I once went out with my friend to one of his friends' house, and I watched them smoke meth in front of their fucking young child, and I swore that I would never fucking ever associate with anyone as that fucking retarded. And that's what a fucking Apple iPhone is. It's a fucking meth pipe. It's a fucking meth pipe. You want to see Steve Jobs as some type of barefoot fucking whatever? Maybe he was. But his fucking baby has turned into a meth smoking fucking junkie whore. And that's what you all are. Don't forget that Steve Jobs is dead and he was a terrible father. So there is a really high likelihood that his fucking daughter turned into a fucking degenerate meth smoking whore. Now, because he was a shit father, he probably doesn't care. But I'm not a shit father. I'm a good fucking father. So to all the degenerate fucking meth-smoking fucking whores out there who have distributed the fucking iPhones and Snapchat to their fucking offspring, and this is the problem. This is what Annika Wells can't say. Annika Wells probably had to go through life as a bit awkward, a bit intelligent, a bit fucking thing. She's had to get into politics, which she's clearly not a popular girl or a nerdy girl or a sporty girl or something else. She's a political girl. And sometimes political girls need a bit of help. You know what I mean? They don't go for the full fucking biscuit. They go, I'll just do this. And I'm like, no, Annika, we're taking the whole fucking thing down, baby. We're taking the whole thing down. Hop on. And I'll take her for a ride into the sunset. And everyone around is like, what's he with her for? She's a boring political bitch. I'm on Snapchat fucking doing lines of meth and getting gang raped. Why is he taking her on for a ride on in the back of his Harley? It's because she tried. She fucking went halfway there. And I was like, honey, with me on board, we're going to go the whole way. And all of you other bitches in that political fucking system, we're going the whole way here, right now. And Pauline Hanson just starts fucking squealing. She rips her fucking top off. Gina Reinhardt is just You know what I mean? She's got an entire football team there to service her. And the girls that, they weren't ever the fucking popular whatever, they're all doing pretty well for themselves, I can guarantee you. But they're discreet. They don't have to brag about it. Because they did it on their own confidence, not fueled by amphetamines. They don't have to brag about it and share it all over social media and do all this stuff and get all this Botox and all these surgeries and hair colors and all this fucking wanky bullshit. They just get it done. They just line the boys up and fuck them like fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's fucking cotton candy at the royal show. But they didn't want everyone knowing that. They had to play this game of being respected as women, and women aren't allowed to be fucking, confident and successful in their sexual exploits. Well, I can guarantee you they are. And it has to come from me. Kind of half and halfway in between, has to tell you all that, all the iPhones are being taken so that we can find out who the criminals are. See, otherwise we've got to individually do fucking never-ending surveillance, and that makes everyone feel uncomfortable. So we're just going to do a fucking big raid right now. And based on all that evidence, we'll find out exactly who is who. What did you think we bought from China? You think we're like, oh yeah, China, we'll let you invade us. It's like, no, we're like, hey, we need to fucking expose who the worst of our offenders are. We're going to do this thing. You guys are going to be the fall guys. We're going to fucking get them all primed up. We get Annika Wells out, fucking whatever. She goes bat in against fucking Mark Zuckerberg, and she takes the fall. I come in, heave her on the back with one hand on the back of my motorbike and floor it off, going high-fiving China and Russia and the US on the way. And we go, that's how you run a fucking prison, motherfuckers. Like that. I reckon that's how we end it. Then we play, hello, baby, as off into the sunset. Like that. It's good. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I hope you got all that. Sorry for the theatrics. And on this note, I'm going to read you personally, Annika Wells. I'm going to read you a little page that I randomly select from this book here, given to my, I don't know who it was given to, but it's for the School Board of London in 1887. That's a fair bit old. Oh, that's the 1886. 1886. That's that number plate. Ours, 1886. Wow, cool. Right. All of this, well, they fired not a gun, because they would not waken the people faster than they could master them. But the fire began to waken them fast enough, and our fellows were glad to keep a little together in bodies, for the fire grew so raging, all the houses being made of light combustible stuff, that they could hardly bear the street between them. And their business was to follow the fire for the surer execution, as fast as the fire either forced the people out of those houses which were burning, or frightened them out of others. Our people were ready at their doors to knock them on the head, still calling and hallooing to one another to remember Tom Jeffrey. While this was doing, I must confess, I was very uneasy, and especially when I saw the flames of the town, which in it being night seemed to be just by me. My nephew, the captain, who was roused by his men too, seeing such a fire, was very uneasy, not knowing what the matter was or what danger I was in, especially hearing the guns too, for by this time they began to use their firearms. A thousand thoughts oppressed his mind concerning me and the supercargo. What should become of us? And the last, though he could ill spare no more men, yet not knowing what exigence we might be in, he takes another boat, and with 13 men and himself comes to shore to me. He was surprised to see me and the supercargo in the boat with no more than 2 men, and though he was glad that we were well, yet he was in the same impatience with us to know what was doing, for the noise continued and the flame increased. I think that's a pretty good ending. I'm going to read a bit from this book as well, which is Jordan Peterson's book. The first was with an ill-tempered bonobo that had been placed under her care in a clinic. The second, more serious, occurred in the wild when Bonnie found herself under attack along with a co-worker after trying to return 3 adult gorillas to their native habitat. While returning to camp, they re-encountered the animals, and one determined to attack. It is best to respond to such an attack by sitting down and remaining passive. The 2 girls did exactly that, but were still subject to an onslaught by one angry and ungrateful male. For what it's worth, it had some justification, having been released one time previously when younger and undergoing a serious human assault itself. Shortly thereafter, in any case, it charged them both and attacked, biting my sister rather severely as she fought off her partner. That altercation with the gorilla did leave my sister Bonnie with a touch of a post-traumatic stress disorder. However, she resolved that quite immediately and returned to her adventures, moving back to London when civil war descended on the Congo. There she bought a sequence of houses with her husband, renovating each of them and selling them profitably in turn. Well, that's a bit of foreshadowing. You've come in contact with a fucking rather large, aggressive gorilla and playing the fool and trying to be fucking Jane Goodall. And now you've been gently warned it's going to fucking shake you for a little bit, but then you're going to be absolutely fine and you're probably going to buy a couple of houses in London. I don't think there could be a fucking better result from that whole series of events there. So on that note, I'm going to sign off and wish you well. I think you'll know how to proceed, and I look forward to seeing you all in the real world, as I can barely even see myself because of the glare coming off the screen. And now I'm going to, oh god damn it! Now I'm going to end the stream. Thank you.